Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Let's take a deep breath in and let that go, allowing your central nervous system to settle in, to listen, to get comfortable, to allow any stress that's been going on in your life to just dissipate and to allow what's meant for you to become part of your life. Something wonderful is happening. How many times have you been faced with what appeared to be an insurmountable problem, and you silently wished you could just turn it over to someone else for a solution? Have you ever sat daydreaming, building magnificent images on the screen of your mind, wishing you had a certain amount of money, wanting to take a trip to some exotic place, or maybe hoping to be able to purchase a vehicle or a home you always wanted? Wouldn't it be fantastic if there was some magic formula that would give us the things we want and permit us to live the way we choose? Well, there is, and it's been around since the beginning of time. You can have all the things you want, everything, and you will have them if you have faith and practice believing, using the messages that I'm giving you as part of your way of life, feeling in alignment with the idea that you are worthy. You can have the beautiful dreams that are in your mind when you stop blocking the energy. Make up your mind. You're going to practice this. Bob Proctor, my mentor, used to say, write down what you want. And when you desire something so much, and you get into the feeling as if it's already yours, when you have the cells of your body vibrating in harmony, because like energy attracts like energy. When you know that the pictures in your mind, what you truly desire, it's meant for you, you wouldn't even see the pictures in your mind. You wouldn't have the desire unless you could attain it. It's meant for you. So quit rejecting it. And you might want to write it down 100 times a day, just so that you get the idea sinking into your mind, into your conscious mind, that it is possible. Bob Proctor would have us write down what we really want, a deep desire, whether it was millions of dollars in the bank so that we could go on the exotic trips, or enough to pay all the bills and live comfortably, whatever you want. It's yours for the taking. But you have to understand that you have to believe it's possible and act with faith, knowing that it's coming, not not digging up the seed to see if it's growing yet, but knowing that you will harvest the beautiful picture in your mind, understanding that you have a subconscious mind, that you live your life through habit. And if you change your habitual way of thinking into a more positive, more powerful thought energy, what you think is what you attract. What you believe is possible is your life. You will never again be the same old personality that doubts and fears and worries when you understand that there is a higher power, there is a universal energy, there is a greater version of you. Everything in this universe, yourself included, is an expression of infinite power. And this power is forever flowing to and through you. Scientists will tell you that everything is energy. I choose to say that everything is spirit. You might say God, you might say universal intelligence. But know that there is a power greater than you, and you can tap into that energy at any time. It's always there. You just need to recognize it. You don't have to idly wish and hope that something could be brought into your life. Health, happiness, and prosperity will follow you all the days of your life. And you will want to spend the rest of your years wanting to share your new understanding with everyone and anyone who is willing to take the time to listen and learn. That's what happened to me when I realized, when my awareness increased, knowing that each one of us is a powerful creator, and tapping into the creative power, you will receive ideas of how to do something differently. Maybe it's as simple as making a phone call or taking a different route to work or getting up out of your chair and doing something different. Your whole world will change. Now, when you start to gain this awareness and you start to tell other people that you're going after a dream goal, a fantasy, something that is so big and audacious and bold, maybe they'll laugh at you or criticize you, tell you that you're odd, that it's not possible. Be realistic. Well, when you let go and let God, trusting that the energy who created you is allowing you to co-create your life. God is not a cosmic bellboy where you just say, I want this, and ping, it appears. You receive what you're in alignment with. Everything you see in the universe is an expression of infinite power. What you think about, you bring about. Whether you think it's good or bad or indifferent, it's because of how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and the actions that you're taking. That's what you notice. That's what comes into your experience, what you're paying attention to. There are some individuals who have always known that there is a power which permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the cosmos, and that everything you see around you is an expression of that power. The power operates in a very precise manner. It operates by universal law. Everything comes from one source, and that source power always flows and works to and through each individual, including you. The image that you have formed the idea that you want to do something big, bold, different, it can only come to you in physical reality on the three-dimensional plane in one way, and that is by law and through faith. Bob Proctor wrote a book called You Were Born Rich, and he doesn't mean financial wealth. He means abundantly blessed. You have been gifted with an imagination, with intuition, with memory, reason, perception, and the will to hold a beautiful image on in your mind and take action until it comes into physical form. Bob Proctor tells a story about when he was working in Chicago, Illinois, and he became friends with a man named Clarence Smithison. And you probably never heard of him. He's modest. He's not a celebrity. You probably wouldn't even notice him if you walked into a room, but there was an indefinable spark in Clarence Smithison. And Bob says he was one of the most remarkable individuals he had ever had the pleasure to know. Clarence Smithson incorporates within his very being the principle upon which this chapter that I'm reading from, Let Go and Let God. This chapter is based on the ideas that Clarence Smithson told Bob Proctor. If a person will let go and let God, have faith that whatever must happen for you to achieve your goal will indeed occur, then all things become possible. One day, Bob confronted Clarence and asked him to share his view of faith and more specifically his explanation of why he personally seemed to possess so much of this important attribute of just allowing God. Clarence explained that he didn't have a complicated philosophy with respect to this subject. He said everything he believed about faith could be summarized in a simple definition, and that gave him the strength he needed to endure the trials and tribulations. We all have trials and tribulations. Maybe you think that you're really hard done by, or why is everything always so hard? Why is everything going wrong? You must have faith that whatever you're going through is necessary for you to become stronger, to overcome the challenges, to grow, to stretch, to become that version of you that has what you truly desire. Clarence said, faith is the ability to see the invisible, to believe in the incredible. And that's what enables believers to receive what the masses of people think is impossible. Bob Proctor fell in love with that definition and he shared it with countless numbers of people. Faith is the ability to see the invisible and believe in the incredible. And that's what enables believers to receive what most people think is impossible. Bob Proctor said, if you can show me a person who achieves great things, I can show you a person who has great faith in his God-given ability to achieve what he imagines, what he images, the picture that he holds. There's absolutely no question in my mind that faith has always been the miracle worker throughout history. It is the connecting link between you and God. It is your most valuable non-physical possession. Bob Proctor writes, "In truth, it is the cornerstone to everything you will ever build or achieve during the course of your lifetime." Very few people today realize just how much faith in oneself has to do with achievement. You were created in the image of God. You are spiritually perfect. Most people never seem to conceive of faith as being a genuine creative force. Yet the truth is that not only is faith a bona fide power, but it is the greatest one we will ever encounter. Bob Proctor would say, "Whatever you accomplish in your lifetime will be in direct proportion to the intensity and the persistence of your faith." I think you know the story of David and Goliath. And David placed his faith in the unseen God, and he used a single stone and a slingshot to knock down the giant. By accepting the principle, let go and let God, and believing that whatever must happen for you to reach your goal will happen, like David, you too will be able to successfully conquer whatever giants there are in your life. You will witness the physical manifestation of your image in the proper time, when you are in alignment. The trouble with most people who fail to achieve what they desire is not that they lack the ability to do so, but we lack the faith implicit in the let go and let God principle. And that dictates whatever is necessary for us to reach our goal will indeed occur. So if you have a beautiful idea, you want to write it down and focus your attention on not how to get there, not what plans you need and what strategies are going to work or not work. Any strategy will work so long as you have faith, knowing that it's meant for you. You don't need to know how. All you need to know is what. What do you truly desire? If you write down your beautiful goal and then worry about how it's going to happen, Bob Proctor writes, all of your prayers will return to you unanswered. Your best efforts will bear no fruit, and your negative attitude will thwart the realization of your goal. A mind saturated with fear of failure or images of unwanted results can no more accomplish, create, or produce anything of value than a stone can violate the law of gravity by flying upwards in the air. You must realize the Creator does not alter the law of gravity to accommodate a person who walks off the roof of a house, even if a person may do so unknowingly, unconsciously, or even in a drugged state. The creative principle of the law of achievement cannot be violated with impunity. Therefore, you will achieve whatever you desire, be what you long to be, only when you become obedient to that inexorable law of life. The first step in the creative process is to relax and see yourself already in possession of the good that you desire. You must build the image. get clear on what it is you desire. Not figuring out how, not talking yourself out of it, not thinking it's too much, not believing that you're not worthy, but deciding what is it that you truly desire, and then use your thinking and feeling energy to relax and see yourself already in possession of the good that you desire. Build the image in your mind. Visualize it. See it clearly in your conscious awareness. And then let go and let God. In working with spirit, it helps to focus on the truth that spirit is in all places at all times. Since this is so, it follows that you possess the godlike ability to tap into positive thoughts anytime you wish and anywhere you choose. Once you become aware of your kinship with the creative power, that you are in truth a child of spirit, you cannot possibly be anything other than positive, forceful, radiant, and self-reliant in your dealings with the world. Nothing can hold you back from accomplishing your beautiful ideal. Once you get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, into the spirit of your goal already accomplished, into the vibrational frequency in the energy of what it's like to already be there, to have your goal manifest in physical reality. You know it's meant for you. What would it feel like? What does it look like? Once this happens, all the forces in the universe will come together to help you reach your goal or the manifestation of your image. When you realize, when you understand that you are made in the image of the center of the universe, and you are a living part of eternal spirit, you will ultimately transform the results that you are achieving in your life every day. This power that is forever flowing into and through you, this thought power, as spirit or thought flows into you, you choose the image, and then you will then form with it. Experiment for yourself. Sit back, relax, and then become fully aware of this great creative capacity. You can actually form one image or picture after another on the screen of your mind. Images of things which already exist physically, like your car, your home, your place of business, or images of things that do not yet exist, such as your short-term and long-term goals. But the point I want to impress upon you now is that although spirit is the very essence of your being, it will never move into form or into a physical image without your assistance. So you don't sit back and say, God will look after me. It is true that God helps those who first help themselves. That means you must always do your part to start the creative process in motion. You must build the image and know in your heart the image will materialize. You must come to look upon God as being a great unseen provider who inhabits every fiber of your being. And you must also understand that the instant you form the image in your mind, God will go to work in His perfect way and move you into an entirely new vibration. You begin to feel differently. The new feeling coming over you is really God, Spirit, infinite intelligence at work. Sometimes you may express your elation by saying you feel enthusiastic. Remember that the word enthusiasm is derived from the Greek word entheos, meaning in God. Your enthusiastic attitude will cause your actions to change, and you will start behaving differently. When you start acting differently, because of the new vibration you're in, you will begin to gravitate toward and to attract to you other like-minded people. Strange and wonderful things will begin to happen to you with such regularity that you'll be at a loss to explain or even comprehend what's going on. Don't try to figure it out. Just understand that this is the universal laws, the way of the creative force. You might say God's way, and accept the good as it comes and expect more of the same in the future. Skeptics might say, oh, you're just lucky. But you could just let it go, because as long as you continue to hold the image in your mind of the good you desire, you will always be rewarded. Just have faith that what needs to happen must happen, and in the right time, everything will happen. And always remember that the image which you keep affirming in your heart, in your subconscious mind, is being impressed upon spirit, universal intelligence, and that spirit has the ability to convert your present dreams into your reality. Everything starts in your mind. You get an idea and you act on it. Everything that you desire will come to you in the right time, in the right order. Trust the process, have faith, believe that it is possible for you. Let go and let God. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Spend some time with your goal already accomplished and go out and do what needs to be done in order for it to show up in this physical reality for you. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. And for my clients, we'll meet back here at 9 o'clock to talk about moving to higher productivity and greater rewards by using your infinite mind. Thank you.